A wrestling retirement should never be taken for face value. No matter how many retirement ceremonies, Hall of Fame rings, or one last match marquees are featured, it's rarely shocking to see a performer return to the ring for another moment in the spotlight. Some of these wrestlers have proved that they still have what it takes to perform, while others should have just hung up their boots years and years ago. 10 wrestlers who refused to retire. Sting. Sting went through quite an evolution. From his Beach Boy days to the Man in Black, he knew how to properly extend his career and stay on top of the game. After years in TNA, it was pretty clear that he needed to retire. Well into his 50s, Sting made his debut in the WWE and fought 2 matches that did not deliver as they once could have. He was still able to entertain, but not at the top level fans were used to. Terry Funk. The hardcore lifting Terry Funk has obviously taken way too many chair shots because he just refuses to retire from the ring. Despite making retirement claims multiple times, Terry Funk has continued to wrestle all over the world. At the age of 62, Funk participated in a brutal Extreme Rules 6-man tag match against Edge, Mick Foley, and Lita. He bled heavily in the ring and created another legendary moment in his career. Ric Flair. To be the man, you just have to retire the man. The styling and profiling Ric Flair is just now an old man with thinning hair. Flair was supposed to have a fitting end to his career by retiring after his loss to Shawn Michaels at WrestleMania 24. Instead, he continued to wrestle, including a slew of sloppy matches and moments in TNA. He's still involved in the business, making independent appearances, and he had a recent gig managing his daughter Charlotte in the WWE. Mae Young. Mae Young gave WWE Divas a run for their money, as she aged well into her 80s. While Young was mostly used for goofy sketches as an elderly wrestler, she competed against other WWE Divas on numerous occasions. In 2010, Young was way over 80 years old when she competed against Lay Cool in a Falls Count Anywhere match on Old School Raw. She got her victory for her last official WWE match, but would continue to appear up until she was 90 years old. Goldust. Years after Goldust should have retired from the ring, his character went through a renaissance and became more relevant than it ever has been. Goldust returned to WWE in 2013 and teamed up with his brother Cody to form the Brotherhood. The tag team won the title on 2 occasions and helped make Goldust relevant again. In better shape and more active in the ring, Goldust has had some great moments his second time around. Hulk Hogan. With 2 fake hips and years of wrestling wear on his body, you would think the wrestling legend like Hogan would retire gracefully. Sadly, this is not the case. Hogan wrestled well into his 50s, even competing in matches after he could no longer do his patented atomic leg drop. At his worst was a TNA match against Sting, where 2 old-timers embarrassed themselves in a brawl that would barely qualify as wrestling. Hacksaw Jim Duggan. There must have been a lot of patriotic pride that allowed Hacksaw Jim Duggan to continue well past his prime. Along with his appearances on the independent circuit, the WWE gave Duggan multiple chances to wrestle in WWE. He has teamed up with stars like Santino Marello and appeared in a special SmackDown version of the Great American Bash. Duggan can still be seen in the independent circuit, appearing for promotions like Global Force Wrestling. Mil MASCARAS. The legendary Mexican wrestler and uncle of Alberto Del Rio has the benefit of wrestling under a mask. This prevents fans from seeing the true age of the 74-year-old performer. Mil may not still have the high-flying skills that he used to, but he continues to entertain in the style of lucha wrestling. Maybe it's his stiffness in the ring that has allowed him to stay strong and continue to perform for all these years. Vince McMahon. If you think that Vince McMahon is retiring anytime soon, well, there's no chance. No chance in hell! Vince McMahon should have stayed simply an on-air character, but he continues to throw himself into the fray. In the time when he should have been playing with his grandkids, McMahon decided to engage in brutal battles against The Undertaker, Shawn Michaels, Hulk Hogan, and CM Punk, among others. The Undertaker. The Undertaker knows how to extend a wrestling career without overdoing it. The annual WrestleMania appearance for the Dead Man allows him to stay fresh and compete at the top level for just 1 match a year. During an extended feud with Brock Lesnar, his older age did start to show a little. While he should have rode off into the sunset years ago, he still has the ability to step up and prove why he's one of the greatest wrestlers of all time. Well, there you have it. What performers do you think should hang up their boots and officially retire? Who are you glad is still around? Let us know in the comments section below. Don't forget to like this video, share it, and subscribe to The Sportster on YouTube.